Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law, and through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and also a short trading lesson at the end, so please stay tuned. In the previous video we looked at ticker symbol NLST, Netlist. This is a stock that I did feature previously on the channel as well, and initially I shared details of this stock with the Patreon. So if anybody's looking for details of the Patreon and the Discord, details are in the description below, so please check that out below for advanced notification of new stocks. In today's video, what I'd like to do is go over some of the key points from Gabriel's interview, which I think one other thing I'd also like to add is special thanks to Gabriel for agreeing to the interview, and I think it was very positive, it was very productive. It's going to help encourage more people to invest in the stock. Obviously that includes myself, and many more people I think are bullish on this. It's not a stock that is featured quite often on many YouTube channels. It is relatively unknown, although obviously I accept that many people have been in this long for quite a significant period of time. But let's move on now and have a look at a key summary of the points from Gabriel's interview. So the interview itself was just approximately 30 minutes. So for more detail and anything else that may have been missed out or not covered in sufficient detail, you will have to refer back to the video. I think it was very, very informative and very useful, especially if you are going to invest in this stock or you are an existing holder in NLST. So I think it'll be very productive to look at the full video. So let's have a look at summary of the key points, which I think a number of people have requested if we could do this with regard to the video being too long. So I'm just going to summarize these a little bit more quickly now on the screen. However, some of them you may need to refer back to the video for more in-depth detail. So let's make a start on the key points. On the whole, it was a very bullish interview. So let's have a look at the key headlines here on the screen. So Gabriel came up with a very conservative estimate of a $5 billion settlement with Google, possibly $20 billion plus. So obviously that's taking into account the patent infringement, how long it goes back, and the details of it and the special circumstances, which I'm going to come to in a minute. So the other calculation that Gabriel came up with, and again you'll have to refer back to the video for a bit more details of how he came to this calculation, but the calculation came up with is each $1 billion in terms of a settlement could lead to an increase in $4.51 premium on the share price. So again, that's not an exact figure, that's not a specific figure, that's a guide figure based on the return, based on the market cap, based on the existing float, and so on. So obviously again, further details of that in the previous video. So if you look at the first bullet point there, what we're looking at here is, well, if there is a $5 billion settlement, and remember that was very conservative, a $5 billion settlement is going to lead to approximately $22 premium. And if we have a $20 billion settlement, then obviously that's going to be 20 multiplied by the 4.51. So again, we're looking at $84 premium on the share price, approximately, just on the top of my head. So again, very, very attractive, very, very encouraging there from an investor point of view. We're looking at the previous largest infringement case to date was Apple versus Qualcomm at settlement at around about $4.5 billion, and I'm sure you can go and research the price of Qualcomm, have a look at that and see why that was such a significant case. The general opinion is that this case certainly has the potential to beat that and become the largest patent infringement case in history. So it certainly has the potential to do that. So bullet point number 4, significant likelihood of royalty payments being dated back to 2009. So again, the technology that Netlist had was groundbreaking, it was significant. And so again, any settlement, certainly a court case settlement, is highly likely to include payments going back to that. So again, that is something that could be factored into the equation as well. So in terms of a price target that we came up with in the interview, so from a bullish point of view, including settlement and any potential license agreement, we're looking at around about $38 per share. Yeah, so $38 per share premium. Further catalysts could come with litigation against Samsung and others. So there are other cases going on as well. And the other thing we talked about is the number of retail investors. Remember, this is an OTC stock, and Gabriel also identified some important advantages of this being an OTC stock. So many retail investors are currently not selling, so it's still a huge upside. It's got a huge upside potential. The RSI we discussed was around about 90, and as you can see from today's market, I think it's just crossed that one point in excess of $8. So I think he's certainly obviously talking, the information he's sharing there is certainly very, very valid. Finally, just a point of clarification for a lot of people who are asking is information was received from a specialist patent lawyer, and this also clarified information that could be relevant to this case, and that was with regard to a seminal patent. What it refers to is an invention so impactful that it creates or shifts the technology space. The technology Netlist had would certainly come under this definition without a shadow of doubt. I agree with that. Gabriel agrees with that. So again, this could be groundbreaking. So again, we did finish off for the interview by saying, you know, nothing is guaranteed. A court case could be lost. Again, it could, in my personal opinion, I think it will be settled out of court. When that happens, we don't know. But this is certainly a unique stock. It's a different stock. It's certainly not following, you know, the normal patterns of a chart, the normal kind of way of trading that people would do. So please bear that in mind before investing. The next stock I'd like to provide an update with is ticker symbol OCGN Ocugen. This is a stock that I have featured a few times on the channel. It's a stock that I'm very bullish about, and again, it also refers to the saying by Warren Buffett: the stock market is a mechanism where it's a way of transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So when you're holding this stock, it does require a little bit of patience, and I think that paid off a little bit today. We can see the stock was up very close to 13%, closing at $7.52. So there was some good news. Let's have a look at that. Well, let's have a look at the first news article relevant to this stock. So this is an article dated July the 18th. Breaking news: Covaxin Covishield effective against the Delta variant from a study. So the headline here is basically saying the joint study by CCMB AIG showed both vaccines can lower severity, mortality. So this is excellent news for Ocugen, excellent news for ticker symbol OCGN going forward. We're getting closer and closer to approval, FDA approval. So let's see what else was in the news with regard to this stock. The next article I'd like to share with you is from the Hindustan Times, dated July the 19th, which is today. So the headline here is COVID-19 vaccine trial for kids, second dose of Covaxin to be administered next week, the report says. So delving down, we're basically seeing here that biotech is likely to administer a second dose to participants in the age range of 2 to 6, while those between the age of 6 to 12 have already received the second dose. So this is positive news. The vaccine is safe for kids, so that's obviously the reason why they're going ahead with the first and the second dose. So good news here again for the stock. I'm going to now finish off by looking at a series of potential upcoming catalysts as well. So we've basically got WHO approval, FDA BLA submission, pediatric trial data in India, booster shot trial data in India, Ocugen commercial rights expansion to South America. All of these are more expected within the next 15 to 30 days. So again, if we go past the 30 days, then we're looking at obviously, you know, potential FDA approval. We're looking at distribution within the USA as well. So from a presentation here, the important thing that we can see here is with regard to the SARS-CoV-2 Delta variant, this vaccine is also effective. So the lab studies have shown that. The clinical effectiveness has also been positive. However, that is not the case with Johnson & Johnson, but it is the case with Covaxin, it's the case with AstraZeneca, Moderna and Pfizer. So obviously excellent news here as well. It's now time for a lesson of the day. Today we're going to be looking at the habits of millionaires. So in order to look at the habits of many of the millionaires, although they are generic, it's not specific to every person. It's a good idea in terms of looking at what kind of mindset it takes to be successful. So first of all, I'm going to start by on the screen sharing 3 negative mindsets, and that is first one, relying on winning the lottery, relying on a crazy investment, and also relying on inheritance. So that's the kind of negative mindset that we need to avoid. However, the good news with the mindset, is a mindset can be changed. So obviously your way of thinking, you can change. So let's have a look at 10 changes of mindset that we can implement, maybe slowly, maybe immediately, or maybe over the long term. And these are, first of all, to read consistently. So by reading, you're increasing your knowledge, you're increasing your awareness, your understanding of market conditions, whether that's to do with charts, whether that's to do with news, whether that's to do with sources of information. It will definitely help. They work out, again, healthy body, healthy mind. I'm a strong believer in that as well. Spend time with other successful people. So basically, I think what that is referring to is spending time more with positive people. It's very easily to go down when you spend time with negative people who are looking at, always the bad side of things. So that's not good. It can drag you down as well. Many of them always have goals and pursue them. So these can be goals in your head, these can be goals you've written down, but I have my goals as well, and everybody else should really have a set of goals. They get up early. So again, a person who oversleeps is not a good mindset to be successful. So try and get up early. It's you're maximizing the use of the day, and you can achieve a lot more. You have multiple sources of income, so definitely agree with that one. Try not to just use one source of income. So the stock market should be an additional source of income, unless obviously you're a professional day trader or professional trader. That's different, but most of retailers, this is an additional source of income. As well as that, look at other sources of income as well. There are many sources of income that we can certainly look at. Finding and checking with mentors. So look at people who have used a proven track record, used a proven formula, and maybe tweak it, maybe adapt it, and maybe use a similar one. They're always positive, so I agree with this one. Never a good idea to be negative. Always look at the bright side of things. Don't always follow the herd. So it's always good to use your own judgment, use your own mind, not follow the crowd, because that's not a definition of always being correct. And finally, they are polite and always have good etiquette. So there is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and one of the lessons you learn from there is it doesn't cost anything to be polite, it doesn't cost anything to have good manners with people, and certainly these can bring exceptional rewards in the future that you may not even be expecting. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. I hope that helps. Please stay tuned.